Are electric scooters the ideal vehicle for the city? Let's debunk 5 popular myths. Electric scooters have often been in the spotlight of the media, mainly for the danger they have when riding by young people, but also for their usefulness in the city. Watch below 5 myths about electric scooters. First myth: e-scooters don't benefit the environment as much. In this area, if we exclude electric bikes, electric scooters play without rival since the carbon footprint they leave is up to 80% less than a private car. Since they have small batteries, they have a very low weight while the electric motor emits zero emissions. Critics of the battery here have no excuse, since in most cases their capacity does not exceed 700 watt-hours, having low weight and ease of transport for charging. The energy it spends on the other hand is infinitesimal since it needs only 0.0035 cents per kilometer in the worst-case scenario, while for the 1,000 kilometers the electric scooter will take from your wallet only 3.5 euros. If we take into account the minimum maintenance costs, then in essence, we are talking about free transportation but also huge benefits for the environment compared to cars. Second myth: e-scooters don't replace cars on trips. We have seen in recent years on the roads and especially in cities more and more electric scooters, and not by chance since they can move a rider quietly and calmly to his destination with great economy, but also enormous flexibility because they are tiny and can pass through paths quickly and with relative safety. Car and bus rides have now been replaced by electric scooters, mainly for short jobs, but also for appointments, meetings, and more. Another great advantage that electric scooters have is the compact dimensions combined with their weight allow roll-on roll-off movements since they are very easy to fold and unfold so that the owner can have it with him if he chooses public transport. Third myth: e-scooters have a high risk of accidents. Here we should point out that the vast majority of major injuries in electric scooters are mainly due to when involved with cars, and according to the latest accident data it cannot be concluded that the use of scooters causes an increased risk compared to other modes of transport. Also, in several countries, fatal accidents involving cyclists are increasing, but no one can dispute cycling. So, the more electric scooters become more popular in urban conditions, the more the infrastructure of cities will undergo constant changes. Of course, on the other hand, when more people choose to use the scooter in cities, the more safety will increase since there will be fewer cars on the roads. The human factor always remains the most essential criterion in the final result. This means that scooters and all vehicles have no intention of killing, but it all depends on humans. Fourth myth: e-scooters block sidewalks in cities. The image you see in big cities where thousands of cars flood shopping malls and streets when they park aside is definitely not the best sight. On the other hand, there is a myth circulating that electric scooters block sidewalks. The truth is that these vehicles have a huge advantage, where due to their size, the lack of public parking is not a problem. After all, public sidewalks have already been used for many years to barge two-wheelers, and there is no tendency to change this condition. A car takes up almost 10 times as much space as an electric scooter. This alone shows that there just needs to be a rethink in the public spaces of the city, a final redesign for the optimal use and harmonious coexistence of all vehicles. Fifth myth: e-scooters break down easily. Like all products and especially vehicles of all kinds, they have a lifespan that depends on the general quality, the way of use, and how the owner will maintain it. So here too, electric scooters, and perhaps those of the first generation, had some issues in terms of long-term use. Perhaps, of course, this myth also arose from rented scooters where their poor maintenance did not allow a harmonious coexistence, resulting in their rapid obsolescence. On the market now, there are electric scooters for every wallet and spare parts for every part of their body. In any case, if the owner gives the scooter proper care, it could last up to 5 years, in some cases, maybe more. In closing, we would say that electric scooters offer an excellent flexibility in the city and are proven to be energy and economical, taking into account the increases in gasoline prices since an electric scooter does not need fuel, does not need maintenance, and you do not need to look for a parking space. The only sure thing is that the positives are much more than the negatives.